post-game last time around, you talk about some of the pieces on the floor being a bit different, but that was a 2-point ball game in December, as it is out of bounds and going to be Husky basketball.
Yeah, UCLA was up 16 points in that second half in the first matchup at Washington. Bilodeau was cooking with 9 straight points in that second half, but he got cramps.
Yep.
But UCLA, they held him off, right? That's what it's about this time of year, survive.
And survival for the Huskies has been a little bit tougher than most, considering the injury situation, which we will get into. But they have a couple of guys like these two on the court right now. Steinbach on the finish, the pass from Diallo. Get used to seeing that.
Absolutely. The matchup between Hannes Steinbach and Tyler Bilodeau is crucial. In the first matchup, Steinbach scored the first 3 possessions of the game, and on the first one, does the same.
From the corner, first 3-pointer of the game, in and out for Eric Daly.
Watch Steinbach run the floor, too. He's got a mismatch down there.
And then the hit. Wesley Yates, the third. He's kind of the third member of this offensive trio, and he's the key that unlocks everything. When he is going offensively, they're at their best as a Husky offense. And then the 3-pointer from the corner drops this time for Daly.
Yeah, Eric Daly's scoreless in the first game at Washington. I feel like he's getting a lot more confident as a shooter, and also he's getting to the foul line more. Eric Daly is crucial in this one as well. Nice drive.
Easy drive for Wesley Yates, his second bucket of the game.
And Dan, you might ask, how in the world was that so easy? No help side. Well, that's the effect of Hannes Steinbach. He cleared out the lane there, and the bigs aren't, they're worried about coming detached from his body.
Then fouled on the drive by Wesley Yates, his first foul of the game. Danny Sprinkle in his second season at Washington. He replaced Mike Hopkins. Spent 4 years at his alma mater, Montana State, a year at Utah State prior to arriving in Washington with the Huskies. Enjoyed talking to him at the shoot-around this morning. Very positive given their injury situation, as I touched on earlier. They only have 3 guys that have been healthy enough to play in all 23 games. One of the most injury-riddled rosters in the country.
It's really hard to see. And, you know, if the basketball season is a marathon, the Huskies feel like they've been running it with just one shoe on. 9 different guys have combined to miss 77 games this season for Washington.
Diallo trying to come to a jump stop and runs into Xavier Booker, who's called for the foul.
Ran into Xavier Booker's butt. Although, weird play. I mean, Xavier Booker was looking at the basket. Well, watch this, folks. Xavier Booker completely turned around, and then, yeah, like the butt fumble. Mark Sanchez.
Did kind of step into him a little bit. It's the
Did that not remind you of the butt fumble?
Hopefully he's not known for that, like the aforementioned Mark Sanchez. And the foul has been called. And UCLA will take over here.
I'm still getting used to the fact that this is a Big Ten matchup. I'm a Pac-12 guy through and through. Eventually, I will come around, but
it takes a minute.
It does. That Big Ten logo in the middle of the key right now still has me thrown for a loop.
Growing up in ACC territory, it took me a while to get used to Maryland in the Big Ten. It's been over a decade now as we look at Mick Cronin. He's used to things in the Big Ten. 7th season at UCLA, led the team to 3 Sweet 16s in his first 4 years, including a Final Four, and right now they are squarely on the tournament bubble.
Yeah, but don't mention bubble talk around Mick Cronin.
No, he doesn't like that.
He's not thinking about March. He lives and coaches this team one possession at a time.
Yates thinks about it, puts it on the floor, pulls up, and hits.
That's going to be a tough matchup for Trent Perry defensively. UCLA, the 6'4 sophomore. Very good offensive player, but if he's on an island against Wesley Yates, I think Yates might get the better of that one.
7 points in the game for Yates. And there's Xavier Booker missing a 3-pointer for the first time in 2 games, fouled going up here. Let's take a look at the keys to the game, sponsored by Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
Well, for Washington, downhill Diallo. This Husky offense is really dangerous when Zoom Diallo gets a head of steam and he can score at the rim or assist. And then for UCLA, no beachfront property for Hannes Steinbach. Steinbach is a young player, but he's strong and he works hard for deep position close to the basket, which I like to compare sometimes to beachfront property in SoCal, you know?
It's expensive property here in
Valuable.
California, as you know.
You got to do your work early, though. As Steinbach, right now, he's in the corner because Frank Kepnong's on the block. Steinbach can shoot it, but that's not the weapon he prefers.
Deep three-point attempt, the first missed shot of the game for Washington. A scrap down low. UCLA comes up with it. And here's Dent on the break, blocked by Tucker.
And Tyler Bilodeau, Dan, he got Kepnong just fell right over his head on this one. Watch the scrum down here underneath. And they get tangled up, and then Kepnong rolls right over him. And beautiful block there from Bryson Tucker. Tucker's an athlete.
Yeah, he is such a fun athlete to watch as Dent drains the three. It seems like there's a couple of alley-oops every game from Diallo to Tucker.
And look at Zoom Diallo probe that defense as well. They're pushing it on makes or misses.
Yates for three. Got it.
He's locked in. Hot. And he's made 15 threes in his last 4 games, Wesley Yates. Remember, Yates played at UCLA. He's very comfortable here at Pauley Pavilion. Played at USC, excuse me.
Just down the road as Dent hits another one. It's 10 points for Yates. This time it's Tucker off the front of the rim. And then the ball stripped from Steinbach. And UCLA always busy on defense, just like any Mick Cronin team. Dent just inside the three-point line. What do they call that, Casey?
Mid-range.
Not a great shot.
Well, it depends who's shooting it. Donovan Dent, that's his game.
One step inside the three-point line. That's what I was looking for. Coach loves that shot.
Yeah, you're like the analytics say that that's a terrible shot, but I would always argue that it depends. Show me who is shooting it.
That's a very valid point.
Great start offensively for Washington. It was important for them to get some confidence. Mismatch, Bilodeau.
Booker trying to go over the double team. Not able to do it.
It didn't help that Booker gets the ball, takes a dribble, and then fades away rather than going into the body or passing that ball out. He made that shot more difficult for himself.
Yates working on Bilodeau. And talk about Yates being locked in. That's 12 points. 12 of the 16 Washington points, courtesy of Wesley Yates.
Well, they're going to keep running that ball screen. Dent trying to get 2 feet in the lane.
What a turnover by UCLA.
I would keep running ball screens with Wesley Yates right here, trying to get more switches.
Going to call a loose ball foul. Yates is on fire, Casey.
Yeah, he's a great one-on-one. Perry, Tyler Bilodeau. I'm sure that Mick Cronin was talking about maybe adjusting ball screen coverage on him.
There's Dent penetrating. Somebody gets a piece of it going up. Brown checked into the game, fires off the three-pointer, too strong. And then it's Bilodeau fouled on the putback attempt.
A lot of excellent rebounders in this game. Tyler Bilodeau is one of them. And that time, Hannes Steinbach gets pulled away from the basket, defending perimeter, and that gives all the guys in the white shirts a better opportunity at an offensive board. And Hannes Steinbach, one of the best rebounders in the entire nation.
Short jumper by Jamar Brown is good.
Nice sign off the bench. Jamar Brown only averages 5 points a game.
And that's what he does. Hannes Steinbach, so dangerous when he gets in the paint. Mick Cronin told his guys, we need to keep him 5 feet out and beyond. Can't let him have any tip-ins, 1-footers, and
yeah, no beachfront property, Dan. Because how about you get him a little dribble handoff? He's a big that has ball handling skills.
Dan thinks about it for a moment, poked away, gets it right back. Can't hit on the drive.
Donovan Dent was trying harder, Dan, to draw the foul than he was concentrated on trying to make that shot. And that's the trick. When you're a smaller player, watch Donovan Dent jump into the chest, but he kind of, short on the rebound, and then Tyler Bilodeau whacks Hannes across the face. That was one that Donovan Dent makes 9 times out of 10.
First foul in the game for Bilodeau.
Little zone defense here.
And then the jumper is good. Lathan Somerville checked into the ball game for Washington. Largest lead of the game, now up by 8 are the Huskies.
UCLA's defense has not made Washington feel uncomfortable at all. Ball's moving wherever it wants to go, and guys are just playing good one-on-one here.
UCLA already 3 turnovers tonight against Rutgers, a game in which they scored 98 points. They had 2 turnovers the entire game.
Yeah, this Washington Husky team is not Rutgers, so that's clear. The Danny Sprinkle squad came ready to play. Look, last year Washington just went 4-16 in Big Ten play, and they've already matched that win total this season. 4-8 so far.
An entirely different team. 14 newcomers for Danny Sprinkle this year. A lot of talent. Injury bug has bitten them hard. They won just 3 games in all of 2026, but guys are starting to come back and they're gelling a little bit here, and they have a very easy schedule the rest of the way.
Yeah.
You can tell they really came to play tonight. Tip ball by Peterson. And another turnover, 4th turnover of the game. Poked away by Brown.
Wow, what a play.
He gets it back to Bilodeau. Bilodeau left-handed in.
Hey, Jamar Brown come in and impact the game somehow, some way. Last 2 possessions, one for Washington, one for UCLA. Many deflections. Get your fingertips on a basketball and good things can happen. Another deflection.
Here's Perry, fouled on the drive by Peterson. And here's another look at that Jamar Brown steal after the near turnover. This is what Mick Cronin says about Brown. You never have to coach his effort or attitude. He's always playing 100%, and it turned into a bucket here.
I would argue it's impossible, although remember back in, I believe it was 1983, when Villanova upset Georgetown in the national championship game. I believe Villanova shot 78% in that game. That's the only time I can remember that type of shooting percentage being sustained. Pretty incredible.
Those old school Georgetown teams were hard to beat. You had to shoot pretty well to take them down.
Well, Raleigh Massimino's Villanova squad figured it out. Right? You know, it's a one and done tournament, right? Dan? That's what makes March Madness so special. On any given night,
anyone can win. I was there when George Mason made it to the Final Four. What a run that was for Jim Laranaga's crew. Diallo to the corner for Peterson, rolling around, and UCLA corrals the rebound.
That hit every part of the rim. Kamari Peterson is their 6th man. He started a few games, but when number 0 in purple comes in, he's ready to provide energy and scoring. Here he is.
Pushing the pace to Diallo. The reverse, no good. Fighting for the rebound down low. And UCLA comes up with it, courtesy of Eric Daly. Their best rebounder has been very active tonight.
Be a good matchup to go to. Bilodeau, here comes the double team.
Good look down low, better hands from Kimari Peterson.
If you're charting deflections, Washington has to be approaching double digits already, like 10 or more.
The 9th oldest team in Division I. The average experience per man on the roster over 2.5 years per.
The challenge was successful. by Washington. The ball went off of White's hand last. 30 seconds on the shot clock. Purple ball.
So they challenged who that ball went off of, and when they slow it down, they determined that it went off Xavier Booker's fingertips. He was the last to touch it.
Really?
I mean, I didn't see that, but again, in slow motion is sometimes like, you zoom in and it's like, oh, inch by inch. Like if we were playing on the playground, Dan, that definitely would have been UCLA's basketball.
100%.
Back in the 2-2-1, and it falls back into a 2-3 zone. It has slowed down Washington just a little bit and allowed UCLA to get their footing defensively. They were a mess to start this one.
Jacob Ignacevic has checked into the ball game at the top of the key for Washington. And they called it travel down low.
A picture-perfect trap. It started out in the zone defense, but then on the first pass, UCLA goes man-to-man. As soon as the ball handler turned his back, you get two guys on him. And without Hannes Steinbach, this Washington offense is a little bit different. And of course, Danny Sprinkle says, Steinbach, get back in there. Look at Peterson fight Bilodeau, fronting him. Well done at the guard spot.
Daly with the shot clock winding down, ball tipped around. Washington comes up with it. It's Jacob Ignacevic.
That was a terrible offensive possession for UCLA. The ball never got inside the three-point arc.
Good ball movement, and Peterson cashes in on the triple.
He's one of those guys that just is a spark plug. You remember, Husky fans know, he hit the three against UCLA in the first matchup with 30 seconds left to make it a one-point game. That game got really tight after a big lead for UCLA.
There's Booker trying to be physical down low. What a hustle play from Bilodeau.
Damn, that was like a 180 fadeaway. The degree of difficulty on that was off the charts. That was impressive.
Ignacevic, tough shot. Dent bumped a bit on the drive. That was pretty. Gets it to go. He has 8.
He's so creative with his finishes. He can finish left hand, right hand. That time he's driving left, but then comes back with the right hand.
Diallo trying to take advantage of the matchup on Bilodeau, not able to do it. Dent pushing the pace once again, fouled by Peterson on his way up.
Tyler Bilodeau, UCLA are on Fox, but UCLA's problem is they only have 2 quad 1 wins. Interestingly, at least to me, one of those quad 1s came against this Washington Husky team up in Seattle.
Dent makes the first free throw. You know, UCLA started 5 of 17 from the field. Washington started 9 of 12, that's 75%. The Huskies have slowed down 1 of 5 since. And now it is a 1-point ball game after the 2 made free throws by Dent. A 10-3 run for the Bruins.
So UCLA continues to, they show a 2-3 zone look, but as soon as there's a ball screen or a pass, they get a 5-second call here on the ball. As soon as they go into a ball screen or there's some dribble penetration, they then fall into a man-to-man defense, and it has stymied Washington last few possessions.
6 turnovers now in the game for Washington. Has to be driving Danny Sprinkle nuts.
Now here's a 1-3-1 look zone with Frank Kepnong at the top, and now they fall into a man-to-man.
UCLA looking for their first lead of the night. Booker skying high to get that rebound.
Nick Cronin wants Xavier Booker, number 1 in white, to be a rebounding machine, to use his 6'11" length and punish people if they don't block him off. He's coming off a monster game. We mentioned it, 24 points in only 29 minutes against Rutgers, but playing against this more physical Washington team is different.
He is rebounding better than he did last year at Michigan State, but he's also playing a lot more. But as you mentioned, Cronin wants to see more from his big man.
I mean, Booker only averages 3.5 rebounds a game. You look at him, he's so athletic, he's so tall, he has to be better than that.
6'11", 250 is Xavier Booker.
Man, look at Washington doesn't know what defense UCLA is in. This has worked exactly like Cronin hoped it would. Just standing around are the Huskies.
Diallo leaning in, tough shot, unable to get it to go. And here's Dent. Perry got it.
That was beautiful transition basketball. Get the ball into the hands of Donovan Dent, who in his last 5 games, folks, has 44 assists to just 6 turnovers. He's not looking to score for himself. He's looking to spray it out. He finds Trent Perry, who's tripled his point production, by the way, as a sophomore. And I think something that's clicked with Trent Perry. Last 10 games, 15 points per game for him. But look at Donovan Dent. His assists over the last 4 home games. Are you kidding me? Those are outrageous numbers. He's averaging 7 assists on the season, folks, and normally 7 assists would lead most conferences. But when you're in the Big Ten and you have the top 2 passing point guards in the nation, Braden Smith for Purdue and Jeremy Fears Jr. for Michigan State, who are literally number 1 and number 2 in assists per game, that drops Donovan Dent down to 3rd in the conference.
He has had double-doubles in terms of points and assists in 3 of his last 5 games. And you can see sometimes he just makes it look so easy in terms of getting to the basket.
So fast with the basketball, always has his head up.
Peterson. Tipped out front by UCLA. Here comes Perry.
Seems like all those shots that Washington had going in the first 5 minutes, their eyes cold in the last 5.
Dent, the 3-pointer in and out. That is the one place he has struggled this season.
Yeah, he doesn't take a lot of them, right? Just a couple a game.
UCLA thought the ball was going their direction, but it's going to stay here.
And Donovan Dent last year shot 41% at New Mexico, but again, off of only just 2 attempts per game. And this year, he's only made 8 total threes, shooting 21%. But that's not his game. It's not the weapon of choice for Donovan Dent. He just needs to keep the defense honest.
On pace for basically the same number of attempts per game, right? He's going to creep up on 50, 60 attempts, but here's Kepnong down low.
And that was really bad defense. They just lost Kepnong. He just missed that shot.
13-3 run for UCLA. Just over 5 to go in the half. Off the mark for Bilodeau.
Good offensive possession, though. Donovan Dent was very patient.
And then Hannes Steinbach with the bucket. It's now tied at 25, under 5 minutes to go here in the first.
He needs to inject himself into this game. He's too talented, not, to go every 4 or 5 possessions without shooting the basketball.
Almost off the hands of Bilodeau, but able to get it back. And it's the exact thing that Sprinkle told us about Steinbach. Want him to be more aggressive.
I don't know about that down there. He just drove right into traffic.
Sure did. Both of them
bailed out by Vern Harris there. Here's Steinbach. We've already seen him a couple times. Once off of a dribble handoff. This is just kind of a semi-transition. And he can play, he morphs into a wing at times with the basketball. And you take a look at his monster game. UCLA had no answers for Hannes in the first matchup. He only missed one shot. Sometimes I feel like the Huskies forget about him. They stop throwing him the ball down there.
Well, they want him to call for the ball and to demand the ball, and when he gets the ball, to look to score. Sprinkle said sometimes he can almost be too unselfish. That last foul, by the way, was on Kepnong, his third of the game for Washington. Remember, they only have 11 healthy players.
And Kepnong's really important to what they do. He's huge. He's top 3 in the Big Ten in block shots. There's a void definitely when he's on the bench.
There, he got a piece of it momentarily. Yates, tough drive. Fighting for the ball down low. They're going to call a jump ball. Lathan Somerville was not, just looking at this stat sheet here, Casey, the one thing that really stands out to me is Washington has yet to attempt a free throw. Meanwhile, UCLA 7 of 9.
Dan, that's life on the road sometimes,
Yeah.
partner. You go in, I remember as a player, I always go into road venues with a different mentality. I am not going to expect to get calls. I'm expected to get heckled from the student section. It's just a different type of mental game that you play on the road. Steinbach is being guarded by Trent Perry.
Yeah, it might be a good matchup to look at. Shot clock at 5. Steinbach lets it go, and then Tucker on the tip-in.
We've already seen Bryson Tucker and his athleticism a couple of times, and Danny Sprinkle, head coach of Washington, said, hey, I need our guards to be rebounders. Help, it can't just be Steinbach. Bryson Tucker's got 2 rebounds already. They need 5+ rebounds in this game from all of their guards.
The way Bryson Tucker plays, it doesn't look like 5 rebounds will be tough for him. Williams on the drive. He's fouled by Somerville going up.
And Danny Sprinkle does not like that call, but it was a smart play by Williams, right? You force the officials to make a call. You dive into the chest as an offensive player. The officials feel like, hey, there is contact. I'm seeing it. But Lathan Somerville's like, what am I supposed to do? I'm playing defense, and the offensive player literally jumps into me.
And Brandon Williams, a big kid, 6'7", over 230 pounds, redshirted last season after starting 14 games his freshman year. He was one of the youngest players in Division I to start the 23 season at just 17 years old. And that made 3 throw, makes it a 1-point game once again. Pressure coming from UCLA. And they're calling a blocking foul down low.
Yeah, I thought this was the right call. What a pass from Quimari Peterson. It was patient. Watch this, number 0 just whips a pass to the middle here, almost a no-looker. Man, that was a dart. Yeah, that's what I call it, a little bit of a foot shuffle by Tyler Bilodeau.
So Bilodeau takes a seat, his second foul of the game.
Yeah, that's obviously big. Bilodeau's been UCLA's best player this season, in my opinion, and Nick Cronin needs him on the floor in this one. But I always say, when you're a really good scorer like Bilodeau, you can't put yourself in the position for charges.
Booker was wide open down low. The help side pressure came late, and he misses the dunk that he tried to turn into a layup. Peterson foul. And it's Williams, Brandon Williams, who's going to be called for the foul.
Frustrating finish. We've talked about Xavier Booker and just how much potential this young man has. So that has to be a dunk.
He was a consensus 5-star recruit, one of the top players in the 2023 class. And you can see the potential is there, as witnessed by his game against Rutgers, where he didn't miss a 3-pointer, 4 for 4 from 3-point range, went for a career high 24. They just want to bottle that up and break it out in the next game.
I hear you, partner. And he's much better player. We're talking about Xavier Booker. He's a much better player here at home. 9 points a game at home. Only 5 points per game on the road. Not what you want to see.
Dent tries a little scoop shot. And then it's knocked out of bounds. Thought it went off Tucker for a moment, but it's poked away by a UCLA player.
And do you see when Tyler Bilodeau is on the bench for UCLA how it changes the dynamics and the spacing of their offense? It really seems like the paint is way more crowded.
They don't seem nearly as in sync.
Yeah.
Bilodeau is not in the game.
Now, on the defensive end, I would argue that Tyler Bilodeau is not an elite defender, so maybe UCLA in this lineup can be a little bit more active. We'll see.
Steinbach, offensive foul. You could see him chicken wing there.
Yeah, chicken wing, but that was also a really nice
acting job?
Yeah, that was a best performance nomination by Donovan Dent. Watch this, folks. Not a ton of contact, and he goes down like he was, yeah.
Well, we are in Hollywood.
Yeah,
or Westwood, pretty close.
Well, UCLA, you see they're struggling offensively, trying to find answers. They haven't made a basket in over 6 minutes.
UCLA's missed 6 of their last 7, man. They got to get something going here.
1-3-1, but now is into a man-to-man.
Perry on the drive. And they're going to say it's good. Somerville got there late.
Well, if Trent Perry can add that nuance to his game, he's a fantastic three-point shooter, one of the better ones for the Bruins. But if he can put the ball on the deck, and here, that would have gone in. Absolutely the right call. Trent Perry's minutes, Dan, have really skyrocketed for 2 reasons. One, his play has been awesome, but also the Sky Clark injury has allowed him to really just spread his wings a little bit. Perry's averaging 35 minutes on the floor per game in 7 of his last 8.
And he's had 2 phenomenal games, 25 points in that game against Indiana, went for 30 against Penn State. He can score the basketball. Here's Yates. And that's what the Dogs needed there. Just over a minute to go in the half. Now 14 points for Wesley Yates, who came out of the gates with a quickness, scoring 12 in the first 5 minutes of the game.
And I'm looking at Wesley Yates right now. He is built like one of those big running backs. He is a massive shooting guard.
Here's Daly. Got it.
I haven't heard much from Eric Daly Jr. I feel like sometimes his aggressiveness goes on and off.
Just 5 points in the game for Daly.
I thought early in conference play, Eric Daly Jr. settled for a lot of threes. That's not his game, just 25% three-point shooter. But in his last 4 games, he's averaging 14 points, but he's shot 18 free throws. Eric Daly, I love it. My favorite version of him is when he's attacking the rim.
You like downhill Daly, like downhill Diallo.
Now, when you got a name like Zoom, probably want to stop him from picking up steam, picking up speed.
10 seconds to go in the half. It's Tucker on Dent. Dent's going to do it by himself. And it's going to be a 4-point lead for the Huskies going into the locker room, still shooting 50.
Surprised if they go right to number 34 early and often here.
UCLA just 1-5 this year when trailing at the break. And here's Bilodeau. You called for it, you got it, Casey Jacobson.
Most of the time I look like a doofus when I try and make projections till the future, but that one worked out. Nick Cronin's no dummy. He knows how valuable Bilodeau is on both ends of the floor to this Bruin team.
Your use of doofus was perfect for somebody that never swears. I can see you saying that quite often. What? Tipped in. That was kind of a weird one. I guess Kepnong's going to get credit for that. His first bucket of the game.
Yeah, I think that was Jamerson who accidentally, that was like an own goal. But here goes Washington in that 1-3-1 with Kepnong in the middle, but watch them fall into man-to-man right now.
Here's Perry, found the hole and slashed through it for the bucket. He has not.
A simple ball screen, no communication at all, no backside help. I think Washington defensively fooled themselves on what they were running there.
Yates inside to Steinbach, throws it up there. Rebound put in by Kepnong.
Dan, that was an unintentional alley-oop from Steinbach. I think he was just trying to get that ball in the basket, but kind of awkwardly, and Kepnong on the spot. This is Washington's jumbo lineup. Steinbach and Kepnong are both massive.
Dent on the drive. Kepnong took a big swing at it. Here's Bilodeau for three. And just like that, Tyler Bilodeau in double figures with 10 points.
He's made 44 three-pointers on this season. That's already more threes than all of last year. He made 38. He has really gained in confidence from behind the arc.
Diallo from 15 feet and then tipped in. Looked like it was Steinbach.
Yeah, I think it was. It was an impossible block-out attempt by Chamar Brown. He was only 6'5". He did his best. Might even have fouled Steinbach. He is so difficult. That beachfront property, when he's in there, you might as well just chalk up an automatic two.
That's exactly what Mick Cronin was talking about the last couple of days. You can't give him those tip-ins, but he's just so good at it. Here's Perry drawing the foul with a little pump fake, Bryson Tucker.
Well, Bilodeau in the first half made 2 baskets. Both were from inside the arc. He's got 2 buckets in the second half, both from outside the arc. He's got a beautiful stroke, man. It comes off his fingertips, just fluid and natural. And check this out, folks. This is how it's supposed to go. First 2 years, he started at Oregon State, playing for head coach Wayne Tinkle, and he just gets better and better each and every year. And if he had another year of eligibility, 50%er.
Yeah, his numbers are outstanding.
He's close to the 50-40-90 club, and if people are like, what kind of club is that? That's the offensive elite shooters club in basketball. Being at least 50% overall from the field, 40% from three, and 90% from the foul line. Bilodeau's almost there. The only thing he's missing, he's an 87% free throw shooter, so just 3 percentage points off there.
Steinbach down low, he's fouled going up. Mick Cronin called that a baseball stat. He said, that sounds like a baseball stat. My dad's a baseball coach. It kind of does a little bit.
Mick Cronin likes baseball stats. He also likes horses. He likes the ponies now.
You know what he doesn't like? He doesn't like bracketology. He doesn't like if you ask him to look ahead. It's one game at a time. Somebody asked him if you don't log on to any of the websites and check out the bracketology stuff. He said, the only thing I log on to is baselineoutabounds.com and talk to my coaching friends and try to get better.
Dan, I don't think that's a real website. I'm as much of a basketball nerd as anyone. I'm pretty sure that's...
Yeah, I think he made that up off the top of his head, but it's pretty good.
Oh, he is so funny. I love talking to Mick about basketball and life. His quotes are so funny. My favorite Mick Cronin quote was about three-point shooting. He said, three-point shooting comes and goes like high school girlfriends. So he's like, we want to be a team that, is consistent. We play from the inside out. And you got to be able to win regardless of whether your perimeter shot is going in. I got a chance to compete against Mick Cronin during my college career at Stanford in the 2001 NCAA tournament. He was an assistant coach for Bob Huggins and Cincinnati Bearcats.
Perry's runner doesn't fall. He was another fun one to watch on the sideline, huh?
Oh, yeah, Bob Huggins is a legend. And just thinking, like Bob Huggins and Mick Cronin together, it's a miracle we beat that team. Look out.
Oh, there it is. You see it at least once a game. Bryson Tucker finishing the oop from Diallo. He is just such a fun athlete to watch. It's effortless. His springs make it look like he could touch the top of the backboard.
You know how much more fun basketball would be if you could jump like Tucker?
Bilodeau started the half making 2 threes. He's missed his last 2. I only wish I knew. Nice pass.
Really nice play right there, Dan. That was well executed, but not as well executed as this backdoor hitting loud and early. You're going to get dunked on.
They're good for at least 1, if not 2 of those a game, I feel like. You kind of lose Bryson Tucker. You're not necessarily worried about a 27% three-point shooter out there.
That's a good point.
Just makes his way to the hoop.
Yeah, I think it's important that basketball players know their strengths and weaknesses. Yeah, if you're not a great three-point shooter, then look for opportunities to cut backdoor. Look for opportunities to crash the offensive glass.
Steinbach's 2 free throws put Washington up by 5. Bilodeau putting it on the ground. This is a tough fadeaway jumper, and it goes.
That, to me, is really good defense by Steinbach. That's just a excellent offensive play, a fadeaway contested 2-pointer. I'm sure Washington head coach Danny Sprinkle will live with that. Those aren't the shots that beat you. It's the easy ones, the bad fouls. Those are the ones that kill you.
Kepnong loses it, gets it back. Shot clock winding down, has to let it go, and that's going to be a shot clock violation on the Huskies.
Kepnong has struggled to kind of, impact the game the way that I know that he can. In fact, we did a game, FS1, against the Utah Utes up in Seattle. Kepnong only had 4 points, but he had 10 rebounds, 6 blocks. He was the emotional leader. He was like leading cheers in the student section. And he has not been able to make that kind of impact today. Wide open. Booker's wide open down there.
Daly's wide open. He makes him pay. 8 points now for Daly. We're all knotted up at 45. Another tough shot, good defense. Somerville may have forced that one.
That is not the look that Washington wants. So there was plenty of time on the shot clock, too. Eric Daly Jr., sometimes when I watch him, he just kind of, he's chilling, right? He kind of like, he's going to make this beautiful looking stroke, and he kind of just moseys on down the floor. Hanging out in his backyard. Not that his team's on the bubble. Should I go on and remind him that his team's on the bubble? Here he goes.
He's just trying to lull you to sleep so then he can hit the 3.
I'm not mad at him. Eric Daly Jr.
Oh, that Dent just picking the pocket. And then he'll finish. That was a pretty steal. And UCLA now on a 7-0 run. It's the first UCLA lead since it was 25-23 midway through the first half.
And Washington's 2 leading scorers in the first half, Wesley Yates, who has the ball right now, and Anna Steinbach, they're not as involved as they should be. Those guys need to get touches.
Off-ball foul called on UCLA. Let's take another look at that steal, man. Quick hands here.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 7-footer, right? And Donovan Dent's just waiting for the big to put the ball on the deck so he can take it away. Very close to being an and one right there. And I think Donovan Dent's barking at it. I have watched Donovan Dent for a very long time, Dan. Donovan Dent played high school basketball at Corona Centennial in Riverside, California. Their head coach at Corona Centennial is Josh Giles, my old high school teammate at Glendora. And their team in high school in 2022, folks, had Donovan Dent, Jared McCain, who's like close to being an NBA All-Star level player, and Kylan Boswell, who's now at Illinois. That was their starting backcourt.
My goodness.
They went 33-1 and of course won the state title in 2022. Incredible team.
Tucker inside to Somerville, spinning in just another tough shot for Somerville. That's 2 in a row now.
And why is it tough? Because he's fading away. 2 fadeaways for Somerville.
Brandon Williams has checked into the game for UCLA. Shot clock at 5. Daly hits.
Yeah, look at him strut. Look at him stroll down. His facial expressions don't change either. Whether he airballs it or swishes it in your face.
He just keeps it medium all the time. Something to be said for that.
Absolutely. It's good under pressure, too.
Good passing here by Washington. This time, Somerville, very decisive up and under. He has 4. And Washington now within 2 with just over 12 to go in the game. Dent putting that shoulder down, leaning in, and they're going to call the foul on Wesley Yates. Tight game here at Pauley Pavilion. UCLA hasn't led a lot, but they're up by 2 right now.
Welcome to basketball country.
A lot more difficult right now for Danny Sprinkle to manage his roster.
Donovan Dent, the New Mexico transfer, is at the line, and UCLA just shooting a lot better this half, 58% as we look at Frank Kepnang on the bench for Washington, compared to just 34% in the first half. And maybe more importantly, they have no turnovers in over 8 minutes of play this half. Taking care of the ball a lot better.
Yeah, that's a Mick Cronin staple. It almost seems like every single year that he coaches a team, they're always top 20 and taking care of the basketball, low turnover percentage.
Yeah, he said every year, I'm fighting to get my team in the top 20 of fewest turnovers and the top 20 of creating turnovers. Short from the corner is Yates, and it's going to stay here. They're saying off the foot of Daly.
That shot from Wesley Yates had no chance from liftoff. That was flat, barely got over the rim. Yates in the first matchup against UCLA had 4 threes. See how they're forcing Hannes into the double team right there? Well done.
It was Williams that got a piece of it. Diallo gets it back and then draws the foul. It looked like it was Eric Daly Jr. That'll be the 3rd. Actually, it was Booker, so it'll be the 3rd on Booker.
So, Dan, they call that bracket defense, where it's not a hard double team, right? It's the difference between a hard double where you just bring 2 guys shoulder to shoulder. When you bracket an offensive player like Steinbach, you're actually a little bit more loose. The player on him is, an arm's length away, forcing him into the secondary help. What you're trying to do is shrink his space and make him a little bit hesitant.
Diallo hits the second, and Bilodeau back in the game for UCLA. Bilodeau in the corner, another 3-pointer for Tyler Bilodeau. He now has 15, and UCLA with a 5-point lead.
Oh, that's 4 on Bilodeau.
Wow.
Yep. He had his right hand wrapped around the waist, and like he's frustrated. That was Vern Harris who got. But if you have 3 fouls, you cannot. You have to show. Look, that's way too handsy. I don't know how Tyler Bilodeau is even complaining about that. And when you have 3 fouls, that is to me an unintelligent basketball player or play for a guy who knows how valuable he is.
Just a huge foul on Tyler Bilodeau. Nice pass by Peterson to Somerville, who's fouled on the way up.
Is Kwamari Peterson a blur or what, man? He gets from the 3-point arc to the paint in a half of a second.
Yeah, it is a hurry, and he's one of the best on-ball defenders on this Washington team as well. The transfer from East Tennessee State, where he was the Southern Conference Player of the Year. And now it's Lathan Somerville, a sophomore out of Peoria, Illinois.
And Tyler Bilodeau's, I would not expect to see him back in this game until probably 5 minutes, maybe a little bit more. But I mean, we mentioned it already. This UCLA offense is just not the same. I think one of the hardest things to guard in basketball are bigs that can step out and shoot. Like Bilodeau can score with his back to the basket. He's one of the best in the Big Ten at doing that. But I mean, he just puts so much pressure on the defense because he stretches the defenders out.
Well, do we see Xavier Booker attempt a couple of threes here? He was 4 for 4 against Rutgers in that game in which he scored a career-high 24. But Booker has only attempted 1 3 here tonight. And that's now 3 on Somerville. Here's Perry in rhythm. Oh, they're going to call the foul on Booker.
Look at Mick Cronin.
He is beside himself.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you what he was saying, but it was animated.
Watch the right hand. Oh, so that to me, that's a tough one. You know,
you don't like it.
Well, to me, that's kind of a loose ball in the air, right? Now, did Xavier Booker? Like, I didn't see him extend, push. Now, did he go over the top? Yes, but again, in my mind, that is a loose ball for Somerville and for Xavier Booker. And if you don't block out, that's a free ball, right? If you don't block out. I know how Mick Cronin feels about that play. He was on the bench and he ran out to half court. That was the fastest I've seen Mick Cronin. He was looking like as fast as Donovan Dent in the open floor.
He was flexing and yelling like he was Lou Ferrigno in the Mr. Universe contest, you know, in the early 80s. And dropping a number of 4-letter words. But that's Booker and Bilodeau now, both with 4 fouls for UCLA. Dent, kind of an out-of-control drive.
Oh, yeah, they got
teed him up.
I think this is residue from the Xavier Booker foul because I actually think that drive by Donovan Dent, that was pretty good defense. I thought it was a good no call. Donovan Dent is pleading his case right here.
Yep.
Donovan is claiming that the defender went into him. That's not what I saw. Oh, he missed both.
Wow. And the crowd here is coming alive.
All right, look at the top of the screen here. Donovan Dent complaining. Mick Cronin out on the floor, running right next to the referee, just giving him an earful. You don't have to be a talented lip reader.
No, that one was a pretty easy one to decipher.
Now, these UCLA players need to have a short memory. Put it aside. Play basketball.
They get a hand in the lane, does UCLA. That was Jamerson. Here's Perry. The in-rhythm 3 is good. 14 points for Trent Perry. UCLA up 57-53, under 10 to go.
It's the loudest that Pauley Pavilion has been all night.
Diallo trying to silence the crowd, and the foul's called on the Bruins.
Donovan Dent in the open floor is a joy. How about that? Just kind of a kickback pass, but it was more of a bounce pass. And I don't know what that means for Trent Perry, but it's beautiful. What a pass by Dent.
Trent Perry starting to heat up. The sophomore from Harvard-Westlake.
Yeah, that's 3 missed free throws in a row for Washington. Missed free throws are like turnovers.
And by the way, they're one of the best free throw shooting teams in the country at 77%. That's top 20.
You know, Washington has done a lot of things right, but when you're on the road, maybe this is a Captain Obvious statement, but you just can't leave 3 points. Wow.
Steinbach gets a hand in there.
He just ripped Donovan Dent.
Little payback, huh?
That was not something I thought would even be possible.
Not on your bingo card for tonight, I suppose.
Watch here, just stick your left paw out. Look at that length, folks. I mean, that's big time. And Donovan Dent was trying what we call a high crossover. Like our crossover dribbles normally perform like low, but Donovan Dent was trying to do a high crossover where you cross over the ball above the defender's hands. When's the last time we heard from Zoom Diallo offensively?
It's been a minute, and he hasn't been at the free throw line. Yates, fall away, in and out, tip back out. Tucker got it, and they'll reset.
And that offense just, the ball's not moving. Player movement, no ball movement for Washington.
The last 7 points for the Huskies have all been from the stripe. It's been more than a minute since they've had a field goal, and they're going to call 3 seconds on Diallo.
I want to give UCLA a lot of credit for their defense, but I also need to criticize Washington's offense. A player picks up their basketball or picks up their dribble, and Washington just stares at their teammate. No one moved, no one got to get open. Brutal.
It's been more than 4 minutes since Washington has a field goal, and they're only down by 3. Perry forcing the contact on the drive. And you
do, but I thought the troubles as Trent Perry hits another 3. I'd argue Trent Perry is the best pure shooter. It's Trent Perry #1, Tyler Bilodeau probably #2 for UCLA. But going back to UCLA's resume, their non-conference losses against Arizona, Cal, and Gonzaga left the Bruins without a signature win in the non-conference. That's the issue. A lot of times these resumes are mostly built in November and December.
Peterson with a tough 3, a little bit too strong. Williams comes down with the rebound for UCLA. Waiting for Perry to heat up. He now leads the way for UCLA with 17. And you're right, that is a pretty stroke from Trent Perry, the local kid here.
And some kids just have like a pure release.
And Dent a little bit short. 6-point lead for UCLA, less than 7 to go.
See if the Huskies can get some touches to Hannes. I feel like every time he gets 2 hands on the basketball on offense, he's a willing passer. You got to get him touches.
Inside to Somerville, little baby hook rolls in. Cuts the lead to 4.
Call that a quick duck in, right? Which is just a fancy word for a quick post up. And you catch your defender sleeping, cut right in front of their face and stop close to the basket.
Perry, little pump fake, couple of dribbles, no good. Battling for the rebound, then he has it stolen away with Steven Jamerson. On the move is Yates and making him pay. And Xavier Booker and Tyler Bilodeau set to check in for UCLA. As is Frank Kepnong for Washington. We are under 6. A 2-point game here at Poly Pavilion. Told you it was going to be exciting, Casey.
I believe on the perimeter, catch the ball on the perimeter, and be a playmaker. Steinbach, to me, Dan, the leading scorer for Washington, 18 points a game, has only 7 shots total. That's not enough.
Yeah, especially with just over 5 minutes to go in the game. Bilodeau has it ripped out of his hands by Yates. Gets it back, and then Yates called for the foul.
I expect to see a steady dose of passes into Tyler Bilodeau if Washington continues to switch these ball screens. Their guards are being asked to defend Bilodeau.
Misses the front end of the one-on-one, but it's going to stay here.
Wow, Bryson Tucker had that. There was nobody around. He just mishandled that ball out of bounds. Do you see, like Danny Sprinkle just, curses under his breath a little bit. But like, I know we have a lot of basketball left to be played, folks, but like those types of plays, you gotta have. You can't just fumble a ball out of bounds.
And he feels like this team's been a little snake bitten because that type of thing happens to them in every game in addition to the injuries. But now they have a chance to tie things up or potentially take the lead with a 3 with just over 5 minutes to go. And they get it into Steinbach.
There you go.
He was trying to get it to Kepnong. Daly wants
a good pass.
Yeah. And there he is, and that's what he does. We haven't seen a ton of it in this game, but he has 6 blocks combined in his last 2, and that's the best part of his game.
Yeah, he's second in the Big Ten in block shots. Look at this. Volleyball spiked that one.
Bilodeau working on Steinbach. And a potential 3-point play the old-fashioned way. He's just gritty. He's grimy inside. His dad was a hockey player, a Montreal Canadiens draftee, and he played hockey growing up. Plays basketball a little like he played hockey.
He posted up like a hockey player on this one. In fact, Tyler Bilodeau leads the Big Ten in post-up points per game. Tyler Bilodeau, number 1 at over 5 points in the post per game. Number 2, Trey Kaufman-Wren at Purdue with 4 post-up points per game.
They're going to take him out here for this defensive possession. And the free throw puts UCLA up by 5 now. How does Washington answer? A missed 3-pointer from a man who was so hot early on. Wesley Yates just having trouble getting it going here in the second half.
And he was wide open. That was a bad defensive play by UCLA. They were in.
Harris letting us know what's going on.
The previous challenge by Washington was successful. They will not lose their timeout. However, they are out of challenges.
And here it is, watch number 24 in purple. He does not touch this basketball. That was what the referees saw. And Latham Somerville knew right away. He said, watch, no, I didn't touch it. But yet, no more challenges, though. Got over 4 minutes to go here.
Somerville not able to convert. And here comes Donovan Dent, who has the 13th double-double of his career tonight, 14 points and 10 assists. Booker for 3. Looked like it was going to drop for a minute.
Yeah, that ball was halfway down. And look, it's still a 2-3 zone, but like it's morphing. I'm not actually sure what kind of defense they're in.
Peterson from the corner, no good. Rebound goes to Dent.
Bilodeau still on the bench. They've been subbing him offense for defense, but they're without him right now.
Daly hits.
And that's his excited face right there, folks. Eric Daly. Hey, getting buckets though, right? At the end of a game, you can trust him. These UCLA fans know all about that. He's hit a bunch of big shots.
The Oklahoma State transfer gives UCLA their largest lead of the game. And another turnover by the Huskies. They can ill afford it with under 3 to go. You look over to the Washington sideline, you can see Danny Sprinkle, as you mentioned earlier, just muttering a couple things under his breath. And
that's a massive turnover, just an over dribble. I know Kumari Peterson's trying to do the right thing. A tough spot there for that mistake.
Daly had to let it go with the shot clock winding down, but Peterson, the Huskies, got to get it going here. Oh. Tough shot. And again, Dent comes up with a rebound. Under 2 minutes to go. Still a 7-point lead for UCLA, their largest of the game. At the most important time of the game.
Again, no Bilodeau.
Diallo's been out. Dent. What a pretty finish for Donovan Dent. And then quickly down to Bryson Tucker, who converts. So it's back to a 7-point game. 93 seconds to go. That ended the 7-0 run for UCLA.
Well, the smaller you are as a basketball player, the more creative you have to be around the basket. Donovan Dent only 6'2". He's got lightning quickness. And watch this, folks, as the trees come to block it, that double pump, that was a very difficult shot that he made look routine. And then what? On a made bucket, one pass, one dribble, and a dunk. You think Mick Cronin's happy with that effort? And Danny Sprinkle gets an immediate timeout. But that timeout allows Zoom Diallo back in the game. It also allows this 1-2-2 press.
Dent does a nice job going to get the ball, and UCLA calls a timeout. And you mentioned Sky Clark, and it is
Duke and Carolina this season.
Yeah, no doubt. And you could also argue that if they can win one of those, that could perhaps, and hold on here obviously, that could perhaps punch their ticket to the dance. As we have a foul called, that's
I'm not sure that's what Danny Sprinkle wanted.
I believe it's going to be Perry going to the line, and Somerville going to take a seat, as is Bilodeau.
Trent Perry's been really consistent, and remember, he did not play at Washington, but he's playing tonight. He's playing really well. One of my favorite things as a broadcaster, Dan, is to watch young players, like watch the light go on. And I always feel like the best year for growth is your sophomore year. Being a freshman's hard. It just is, especially in a power conference like the Big Ten. But being a sophomore, you get experience under your belt in different venues. You play for Mick Cronin, you start to get to know his style. And Trent Perry is a great example of just that sophomore leap.
Quick shot by Peterson, and he hits it for Washington. 6-point ball game, under 120 to go.
You don't want to foul right away. Try to get a turnover. Wow, that ball was up in the air.
Wow. Seemed like it was up there forever.
Sure did. Yeah, right now, I mean, you don't have to go for threes all the time, but yeah, you'll take these right here. Beautiful play for Kumari Peterson. And this is a instant replay, Dan, so that ball did feel like it was in the air for about 2 seconds.
Well, you already talked about the speed of Peterson. You got a guy whose first name is Zoom, so there's a lot of speed defensively here for Washington. He calls another timeout. I think Trent Perry was a little confused on that inbounds play there.
Yeah, he's like, hey man, I'm one of the better free throw shooters. Like, I'm open right here.
It is.
Who's not going to play for the rest of the season. Desmond Claude, of course, started his career at Xavier, played 1 year at USC, and was averaging 13 points per game, but torn ligaments in his ankle and a knee injury, and he's out.
So Steinbach called for the foul on Bilodeau with just under a minute to go.
As long as you can inbound the ball to Donovan Dent, to me, he's a one-man press break. He's so difficult to trap. He's small, he keeps his dribble low, and he's a fantastic passer. He always sees one step ahead. That, to me, is Donovan Dent's superpower, his vision. He's playing chess while the defense is playing checkers. And I know his shooting problems have been, documented this year. Last year averaged over 20 points at New Mexico, but he's one of the game's best passers.
Yeah, he was the conference player of the year in the Mountain West. And Mick Crone says he's totally had to remake his game. We've needed him to turn the ball over less, and that's exactly what he's done this year. Peterson, another three is good. So they're just chipping away, trading twos for threes, and now they're down.
The fans start to moan and groan a little bit. And so again, 52.6 seconds. You don't have to foul right now. Just keep trapping. Try and make UCLA cough it up.
Easier said than done against Dent. And you're right, he is a one-man press break.
Especially if you can get him the ball not like in coffin corner, right? But not deep in the corner. If you get him in the slots or the middle, a trap just isn't going to work.
No, it's like a running back hitting the hole, right? He sees daylight, he's gone.
62% free throw shooter is certainly not where he wants to be.
Yeah, you mentioned it. That would be the one Achilles heel, would be the shooting. And he's so aggressive when driving at the hoop. In the last couple of games, he hasn't shot as well as he would have liked, but he's just racking up these double doubles. Back to a 5-point lead. Peterson thought about it for a minute. Now he's driving.
He scored their last 8 points.
It's been all Peterson. And Steinbach on the foul.
Yeah, still hanging around. You're putting pressure on UCLA's free throw shooters. 37 seconds is an eternity. Well, not quite, but you know what I mean.
Oh, I get you. That's plenty of time. You just need a
you
need a break. Need something to go your way.
Well, and UCLA fans who are watching this game need no reminder. Tyus Edney, one of the most famous end-to-end plays. I think it was 4.5 seconds. That's all you need to get an opportunity to score. But if UCLA continues to knock down their free throws, they'll likely have nothing to worry about. It's a big if.
Well, Trent Perry's been pretty solid on the season and living up to those numbers tonight. He is now 8 for 9 from the line, back to a 5-point lead. Zoom puts the shoulder down, tries to dump it off to Steinbach, but Perry ties him up, and it's a jump ball. It'll stay with Washington.
You got to go to your quick hitting baseline out of bounds plays, right? A lot of times you're just trying to inbound it to them, run your offense. This needs to be a quick hitter.
Not able to convert, but Yates does. And the chance for a three-point play to make it a two-point ball game.
This foul's on number 5, Brandon Williams here. Not a lot of contact there. Man, that is a tough call.
Went straight up.
Yeah, that's a break for Washington.
Well, we talked about them needing some breaks. Perhaps this is it. You got to make the free throw. And Yates does. So Yates now with 18. Or 19 rather, 2-point game.
Same situation here, Dan. You don't have to foul right away. They choose to. I thought they had enough time to try and get a trap and see if you make Eric Daly Jr. soar one into the second row.
Daly, a 74% free throw shooter. A look at his numbers tonight, 12 points in the game. They're taking a look at the clock to see if any time.
Washington's just letting it rip.
UCLA has led since the 13:43 mark of the second half. They've led by as many as 9. And it is now back to a 3-point lead for UCLA.
This free throw is massive because it makes it a 2-possession game.
And Daly got it. So now you got to hurry a little. Diallo on Bilodeau. Yates is going to drive.
Yeah, it's a smart play.
It was wide open, a huge lane there, back to a 2-point game. So you foul and hope they don't make the free throw.
Crazy, but
I would say it sounds like a golf tournament, but they're at the Waste Management in your neck of the woods down there in Phoenix, and that's a pretty loud golf tournament.
Yeah,
it's not your normal golf tournament.
Hey, he's been cool at the line, hasn't he?
He's a fun player to watch, man.
And he's in the infancy of his basketball career.
All right, so he makes both. Under 10 seconds to go. Huskies got to go.
Oh, yeah, they started the game clock before Kwamari Peterson touched the basketball. Is that what they called?
They sure did. There was 9.7 on the clock.
Yeah. I saw that. When they inbounded the ball, Kwamari Peterson did not touch it, right? He wants to milk the clock. Watch here. 9.7. And he lets it bounce.
Oh, he might have touched it, though.
I don't think so.
No?
No, I don't think so.
You don't want another review right now? Peterson fires. And it's going to be UCLA ball with 3 seconds to go. That's going to be game, set, match. The Bruins found a way to hold on. And they get it done here on their home court. A game they had to have. And they hold on for a 4-point win.
Winning your home games in